Rain hammered the canopy like a living thing, not falling, attacking. Each drop struck the glass with enough force to blur the outside world into streaks of motion and shadow. The jungle below was already lost to darkness, but the storm erased even the memory of shape. There was no horizon, no depth, only noise. And the radio. Actual wear. Static tore the voice apart. Combat ineffective. The transmission broke, came back thinner, tighter. Trapped riverbank, no exit. The voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It carried something worse than panic, restraint breaking under pressure. Inside the cockpit, nothing moved except the needle vibrations and the slow rise and fall of controlled breathing. Ash listened, not just to the words, to what was underneath them. Men packed too close. Weapons running dry. Movement without coordination. That particular rhythm of failure, not sudden, but creeping. She didn't answer. Not yet. Below, Havoc Actual was already collapsing into the kind of fight that didn't end with victory, only survival. The room smelled like wet nylon and stale coffee. Not unpleasant, just honest. A red overhead light washed everything in dull urgency. Shadows cut sharp across the map table, where a plastic-covered river chart was pinned down with empty magazines and a broken pen that no one bothered to move. SEAL Team 4, Havoc, stood around it. Loose posture, quiet confidence, the kind that comes from repetition, from doing the same thing enough times that risk starts to feel like routine. Captain Owen Hale traced a line along the river bend. Light resistance, he said. Village is asleep. He didn't look up. Didn't need to. They don't know we're coming. A few nods. One guy smirked. Another cracked his knuckles slowly. Comfort. That was the word. Comfort in a place that had no business offering it. Then the door opened. No dramatic pause. No shift in the room. Just a small interruption in the air. Mila stepped in. 17. Lean. Compact. A rifle case in one hand. Dry bag in the other. She didn't announce herself. Didn't scan the room looking for reactions. She just moved to the edge and stopped. Observed. Listened. That alone set her apart. Attachment, someone muttered. Not rude. Just dismissive. Another glance. Quick. Evaluating. Size first. Then gear. Then interest lost. Back to the map. Her call sign was Ash. Not because it sounded sharp. Because it fit. Ash doesn't demand attention. It settles. It remains after everything else burns away. Hale continued. We move fast. Hit the structure. Extract before sunrise. He tapped the route again. Like the line itself guaranteed the outcome. Mila watched his hand, not his face. The rhythm of the tap. The certainty in it. Then she spoke. Calm. Sir, last confirmed movement? Not report. Eyes on. The room paused. Not fully. Just enough to notice. Hale looked at her. Measured. Deciding whether the question deserved an answer. Overhead saw nothing, he said. No movement. No fires. Quiet. Mila nodded once. Then again. Same tone. Any fuel storage along the river? That got a reaction. A couple heads turned. Confusion. Why fuel? Hale exhaled slowly. We're not here to study the environment. Light laughter. Nothing sharp. Just enough to push her back to the edge of the room where attachments lived. Mila didn't react. No smile. No pushback. She pulled a small waterproof notebook from her pocket. Didn't open it. Didn't show it. Just held it for a moment. Then slipped it back. Roger. And went quiet. Outside, the jungle waited. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just present. Heavy air. Wet ground. Still water. The kind of stillness that doesn't mean peace. Only patience. Mila stopped at the riverbank. Knelt. Touched the surface. 2 fingers. That was all. Pulled them back slowly. Something clung. Not visible. Not smellable. But there. A thin slick. Behind her, Havoc loaded the Zodiac. Rubber flexing. Metal tapping. Someone coughing too loud for a place that was supposed to be asleep. She didn't look back. Her eyes stayed on the water. Because water didn't lie. Not if you knew how to read it. Captain Hale stepped beside her. You good? Tone already defensive. Expecting a problem. I'm good, she said.
Pause.
But this place isn't empty. He followed her gaze. Saw nothing.
Shrugged.
It's a jungle. She didn't argue. That was the difference. She had learned early. Some people don't hear more when you push. They hear less. So she said nothing, and remembered everything. The Zodiac slipped into the water. Silent at first. Then the motor engaged.
Low. Steady. Wrong.
Mila took position at the rear. Watching. Not the men. Not the path ahead. The reflections. Because reflections break before reality does. 1 bend.
2. 3.
She counted without looking. Listened to the motor. Listened to the night. And heard something missing. No birds. In a jungle, silence isn't absence. It's warning. By the time they reached the narrowing stretch, she knew. Not exactly what, but enough. Recommend pause, she said over comms. Half-second delay. Then hail. Negative. Keep moving. Of course. She slowed slightly. Just enough to think. Then made a decision. Ash moving to confirm. It sounded like discipline. It wasn't. She slipped into the water without a splash. Let it take her. Cold wrapped around her body instantly. Muted everything. Sound flattened. Light fractured. And clarity came. Through thermal optics, the jungle changed. No longer chaos. Structure.
Pattern.
Intent. Heat signatures. Not scattered.
Placed.
Overlapping. An L-shaped kill zone. Her pulse didn't spike. It settled. Havoc. She keyed the radio. Static. She adjusted. Tried again. Nothing.
Dead.
Not interference.
Dead.
Ahead, Havoc kept moving. Still confident. Still loud enough for men already waiting. For a moment, just a moment, she considered breaking cover. Shouting. Firing. Anything.
But she understood the math.
One warning wouldn't save them. It would only start the ambush sooner. So she did the only thing left. She disappeared. The first flare tore the sky open. White light exploded above the trail. Every shadow vanished. Every man exposed. The heavy gun opened. A tearing sound. Not sharp. Not explosive. Just continuous destruction. The jungle erupted. Men dropped. Shouted. Scrambled for cover that wasn't cover. From the river, Mila saw everything. Every mistake. Every predictable movement. And every second lost. She went under. Not running. Repositioning. Because from behind, the trap breaks differently. The river closed over her like a curtain. Above, chaos. Below, control. Mila moved without wasted motion, body aligned with the current, letting it carry her instead of fighting it. Fighting meant noise. Fighting meant oxygen lost. She didn't waste either. Gunfire above became distant, muted thuds pressing against her ribs through the water. Not sound anymore, pressure. She counted, not seconds. Heartbeats. Each one measured. Controlled.
Stored.
She surfaced just enough to breathe. No gasp. No splash. Just a quiet intake through controlled lips, then back under again. Closer now. Behind them, the enemy had done everything right. Positioning. Timing. Fields of fire. But they had made one assumption. The river was empty. 2 sentries stood near the bank. Relaxed. Weapons angled toward the trail, not the water. Not her. Mila rose behind them like something that had always been there. The first dropped before he understood movement. The second turned halfway, just enough to realize something was wrong, then nothing. No struggle. No noise. Just absence. She eased both bodies into the brush. Not hidden. Just delayed. That was enough. The heavy gun still tore through the jungle. Long bursts. Disciplined. Controlled. Not militia. That was the first real confirmation. This wasn't random. This wasn't lucky. This was planned. She shifted position again. Lower. Closer. Watching. Through thermal, the battlefield unfolded like a diagram. Havoc moved exactly where they were being pushed. Every step predictable. Every cover position already calculated. Captain Hale tried to rally them. She could see it. His posture. His movement. Sharp. Commanding. But the sound didn't carry the same weight anymore. Not in chaos. A breacher went down. Hard. Wrong angle. Leg collapsing. Another man dragged him. Both vanishing behind a log that wasn't real cover. Seconds stacked. Each one expensive. Mila stayed still. Not because she hesitated. Because timing mattered more than action. The enemy shifted. Subtle. But clear. Fire slowed. Not stopped. Controlled reduction. She felt it before she fully processed it. The transition. Gunfire movement. Execution phase. They were closing in. She didn't think. Didn't debate. Didn't hesitate. She slipped under again. Cold wrapped tighter this time. Heavier. Her body started to resist. Instinct pushing panic to the surface. She crushed it. Panic wastes oxygen. Panic makes noise. Panic gets you killed. Her boot caught. Hard. For a fraction of a second, everything stopped. Not fear. Calculation. She didn't yank. Didn't thrash. That's how you die underwater. Her hand moved down. Found the laces. Blade out. One clean cut. The boot vanished into the black. Gone. Like it never existed. She didn't follow it. Didn't care. Weight lost. Mobility gained. Trade accepted. She pushed forward. Lungs burning now. Not sharp. Deep. Heavy. She surfaced behind them again. Further. Deeper into their line. This time she didn't stop at the edge. She entered the structure. Movement became something else. Not reaction. Not survival. Execution. A runner moved between positions. She tracked him. Waited. One step. Two. Gone. A heavy weapon crew adjusted position. She shifted angle. One shot. The assistant gunner dropped. The primary hesitated. Just enough. Second shot. Silence in that sector. Not complete, but enough. And then, everything changed. An RPG launched. Backblast lit the trees. For a second, everything was visible. Too visible. Fuel ignited. The blast rolled outward like a wave. Heat slammed through the jungle. Thermal washed out completely. Flames hit the river. Spread. Thin. Fast. For a moment, even Mila lost the battlefield. She dropped back into the water. Not choice. Instinct. Under again. Blind. Burning debris above. Ash falling through water like black snow. She surfaced on the far side. Coughing once. Hard. Controlled. And saw the truth. Havoc was being pushed. Not scattered. Directed. Toward the bend. No cover. No maneuver. No escape. Her radio. Dead. The enemy. Moving closer. Confident now. They weren't rushing. They didn't need to. They thought it was over. Mila pressed into the mud. Water up to her chin. Still. Watching. She understood the shape of it now. Not just the ambush. The intent. Execution. One by one. Controlled. Clean. She unclipped her armor. Let it slide off. Sink. Heavy. Gone. She felt lighter instantly. Exposed. But faster. More importantly, quieter. One breath. Deep. Measured. Then she let the river take her again. This time, not to survive. To end it. She moved below them. Not around. Not behind. Through. Counting again. Heartbeats. Distance. Position. Above, the enemy tightened formation. Spacing collapsed. Confidence replacing discipline. That was the mistake. She waited until leadership stepped forward, until the man giving signals moved into the open, until the heavy weapon crew relaxed. Just enough. Then she rose. No splash. Just presence. Rifle already aligned. First shot. Command. Second. Communications. Third. Heavy weapon. 3 shots. 3 decisions. The entire battlefield shifted. Confusion. Instant. Violent. Where? How? From where? The suppressor erased direction. Sound scattered. Meaning lost. She moved as she fired. 2 steps. Stop. Fire.
Shift.
Every shot deliberate. No panic. No rush. She didn't chase targets. She dismantled capability. An RPG gunner dropped before he could shoulder. A rifleman turned, too slow. Another tried to run. Didn't make it 2 steps. The rest broke. Not tactically, psychologically. Because the river wasn't empty. From cover, Havoc watched. At first, no one moved. Because what they were seeing didn't fit. The girl, the attachment, the afterthought. Standing waist deep in black water. Ending the fight. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Efficiently. When the last threat dropped or fled,
She stopped.
not celebrating. Not breathing heavy.
Scanning.
Reloading without looking. Because it wasn't over until it was controlled. Only then did the jungle go quiet again. And only then did Havoc start breathing. The jungle didn't celebrate. It never did. It simply went still again, as if nothing had happened, as if men hadn't bled into its soil, as if fire hadn't clawed across the river minutes ago. Silence returned not as peace, but as a reset. Mila stood in the water a moment longer than necessary. Not frozen, not stunned, just listening, because silence lied. And she knew it. Behind her, Havoc began to move again. Slowly at first, like men waking up from something they didn't fully understand. Weapons still raised. Eyes searching for threats that no longer made sense. Captain Owen Hale stepped forward carefully. Not like before. Not confident. Not certain.
Different now.
Measured. He stopped a few steps from the water's edge. From her. I thought you were gone, he said. Mila didn't answer right away. She stepped out of the river instead. Water streaming off her clothes. One boot missing. Mud clinging to everything else. I don't leave, she said finally. Not pride. Not defiance. Just fact. That landed heavier than anything else that night. Hale nodded once. No argument. No correction. What do we do now? That question mattered, because it wasn't framed as an order. It was real. Mila looked past him. At the jungle. At the river. At the bodies. They knew, she said. Hale's jaw tightened. Knew what? Our route. Timing. Position. Silence again. Different kind. The kind that forces people to think. They got lucky, one of the operators muttered. Mila shook her head slightly. No, she said. Then she moved. Back to the body near the river. The one she had already marked. She dropped to a knee. Started searching again. Faster now. More deliberate. Inside the vest. There it was. A sealed folder. Waterproof. Protected. Important. She pulled it free. Opened it. First page. A photograph.
Hale. Clear.
Recent. Standing near the river during staging. Helmet off. Relaxed. Unaware. The angle.
Wrong.
Too clean. Too intentional. Mila didn't say anything.
She just handed it to him and watched. The shift.
It wasn't dramatic. No outburst. No denial. Just a slow realization. Like something inside him recalibrating. Below the photo.
A map.
Their map. Route marked. Timing notes written in careful block letters. Kill zone circled exactly where the ambush had detonated. Not estimated. Not guessed.
Known.
Hale exhaled slowly. This isn't possible, he said. Mila met his eyes. It already happened, she replied. That ended the argument before it began. Around them, the team gathered closer. No one spoke. No one needed to. They all understood what it meant. Compromised. Not the mission.
Them.
Someone fed this, Hale said quietly. Yes. From where? Mila didn't answer that immediately, because the question didn't matter yet. What matters, she said instead, is that they're not done. That pulled attention back where it belonged. Explain. They expected to finish this, she said. They'll assume survivors. They'll adjust. Hale nodded slowly. So we move.
No, Mila said.
That stopped everything. We disappear. That word landed differently. Explain, Hale repeated. No comms unless necessary. No predictable routes. No extraction signal. That's our way out, someone said. Mila shook her head again. That's bait.
Silence.
Because deep down, they knew she was right. They'll watch every landing zone, she continued. Every clearing, every place we'd choose. Hale exhaled. So, what do you recommend? This time, no hesitation. We go where they don't expect movement. Which is? Mila looked toward the terrain. Bad ground. They moved at first light.
Not fast.
Not slow. Deliberate. Every step placed. Every branch moved, not broken. Noise discipline restored. But now, earned. No one joked anymore. No one spoke unless needed. And no one questioned Mila. Not out of rank. Out of survival. The jungle shifted with them. Or maybe they finally started seeing it properly. Terrain became structure. Cover became angles. Silence became information. Hours passed. Fatigue set in.
Deep.
Heavy, but controlled. They reached the ravine just as the light started to thin the shadows. It was narrow, ugly, unforgiving. Stone walls rising on both sides. Roots hanging. Moisture clinging to everything. Sound behaved wrong there. Echoes twisted. Distances lied. Mila raised a hand. They stopped instantly. This is where they close, she said quietly. Hale scanned the terrain. Why here? No maneuver. Limited visibility. Forced direction. A funnel. He nodded. And us. Mila looked ahead. We don't move through it. Another pause. We make them move through it. Setup was quick. Precise. Limited ammo meant limited options. Every choice mattered. A single grenade trap. Positioned carefully. Not obvious. But not perfect either. One chance, Boone muttered. Mila shook her head. No, she said. Then she stepped forward. Into the open. And knelt. Right in the center of the ravine. Exposed. Hale stiffened. Ash. They won't rush shadows, she said calmly. They'll rush a person. No drama. No speech. Just math. If they slow, they see the trap. If they rush, they die. No one liked it, but no one stopped her. She settled into stillness. The kind that takes control to maintain. Minutes stretched. Then, it came. Not sound. Pressure. Observation. A thermal sweep. Professional. The point man appeared above. Careful. Measured. He saw her. And stopped. Studied. Longer than most would. That was the dangerous part. Because professionals think. Mila didn't move. Didn't react. She didn't sell fear. Didn't sell strength. She let reality sit there. A lone figure. Exhausted. Believable. The point man decided. Signal given. Movement followed. Fast. Confident. Too confident. More bodies entered the ravine. Spacing collapsed. Exactly what she needed. The wire snapped tight. The explosion hit like a hammer in a confined space. Flash. Pressure. Chaos. Before the echo died, Mila was already moving. Rifle up. Shots controlled. No waste. The team followed instantly. Now aligned. Now synchronized. This time, no confusion. Because now, they understood her. The fight ended quickly. Not clean. Not perfect. But decisive. Silence again. But different now. Earned. Hale lowered his weapon slowly. I've never seen someone wait like that, he said. Mila checked the surroundings once more. Most people don't practice waiting, she replied. That stuck. Because it wasn't just about combat. It was about discipline. About control. About knowing when not to act. They regrouped. Checked casualties. No speeches. No celebration. Just work. Hale approached again. What about the leak? He asked. Mila looked at the folder. Not here, she said. But it's real. Yes. And when we get out? She met his eyes. Then it becomes someone else's problem. That answer carried weight. Because it meant they weren't done. Not really. Later, this mission would be written. Filed. Classified. Stripped of detail. Reduced to outcomes. But the truth would stay with them. Not the gunfire. Not the explosions. The quiet parts, the waiting, the listening, the moment someone ignored noise and saw clearly. Courage wasn't loud. It never had been. It was precise, controlled, and sometimes it looked like a figure rising from a river everyone else thought was empty. Mila didn't wait for recognition, didn't need it. She stepped back into formation, not in front, not behind, where she was needed, and for the first time, no one questioned it.